Hello and good morning, friends of Century 21. I got a special visitor here with me this morning. I'm Pat Slack, broker owner of Century 21 Midlands, and right here with me is Mr. Brian Albert, who is a past customer client of mine that went through the purchasing process, and he's here this morning to kind of tell you in his own words just how he felt about it. You know, we looked at multiple houses over the course of, I think, 8 or 9 months. It was a long period of time. And I hung right there with you to go, but I knew your need, identified that quickly. The communication from you to me was good to get to that. But how many houses do you think I actually talked you out of and really got you to think hard about the decision you were about to make? Ultimately, me not making the decision, but how did that help you come to find the right property?
I think it was important because having multiple sets of eyes, you being in this business for such a long time, you're able to walk into a home and spot a lot of things right away, or even just looking at a listing and calling a seller's agent to find out a little bit more information before it went on the market. That you were able to provide me with some insights that I would not have had, and just simply, especially being a first-time home purchaser, that there were certain things I was looking for, but sometimes kind of under the rug kind of things that I wasn't terribly good at spotting. So having a resourceful realtor that understood everything that goes into home buying, having that was huge for me. And so it helped to clarify some of my some of the things I was looking for, but also pointing out, like, hey, have you considered this, or have you considered this? And in many cases, I had not. And so it was helpful to have that that second set of eyes to clarify things.
Do you think that when we're going through this process, I'm more of in a position of counseling than I am anything in the transaction? I mean, I don't consider myself a real estate agent, quote unquote.
Sure.
I consider myself a counselor, an advisor, if you will, to get people through these things. But I really like to push them to really work their minds on what they're doing, because they may not be happy with me at that time, but 9 months down the road, I want them to call me up and say, hey, Slack, I'm glad you talked me into that, and that was the greatest thing you could ever put in front of us for us to think about. So thank you for that opportunity and your patience for that matter.
It was, for me, it was, and I think you helped me out with this, especially counseling is a great way to put it, is because I know there were times throughout the process where I know at one point in time I put a bid in on a home and didn't get it. And so that was kind of an early learning experience for me. And
in fact, I think that happened multiple times.
I think there were at least, I know there was one I was pretty beat up about, and
you kind of had to be the cheerleader, the rah.
Well, and that's
hang in there, Brian.
And that's just. But the thing is, you preached patience throughout the entire process. Is that the right home is going to come along, and we're going to be able to find that right home at the right price, and you preached patience the whole way, and it worked that way. So yes, all in all, it worked out very well. And so having that guidance, that counseling there, that patience was huge.
Yeah.